Hello Health Seekers, Hannah here from Nourish to Health, leading the movement for natural living for autistic families. I can still remember the day that Robin and I left the Gateways office in Geelong and our legs were numb, and in one conversation all of our dreams and hopes for our child and what we thought our child's life could be just went up in smoke, or what it felt like at the time. And we grieved for the child that we thought we were going to have, and we grieved for the life that we thought we now needed to lead. We had things going around in our heads like, he'll never feel empathy and emotions. He'll never go to mainstream school. You've got to think about when he's 11, if he's this aggressive now, how will you cope, and what care can you put him into when he's 8 or 9? I mean, our life just turned upside down, even though we knew from birth there was something wrong. We knew he was autistic before we went in and got that label. It wasn't a shock, it was just putting a label to it was really hard for us personally. And I can't remember then if that made my depression worse, or actually it lifted it and I used it as motivation, because finally it wasn't me being a bad parent or us being bad parents. It wasn't going from one parenting class to another and going, why aren't these techniques working? Why is this not working? Why is everyone else's child thriving and mine is not? What am I doing wrong to my child? The label for us actually said, okay, there's something wrong here. And I used that to motivate me to find answers. But it was a really tough time. It was the lowest of the low, and I totally remember that feeling. And if you're in that place right now, I have some suggestions for you to lift you out of that place. Number one, can I just say that you are not alone? And like, it makes me really emotional saying that, because I felt really alone, and you're not. There are people that can support you and help you, and just know that there is hope, and reach out, please reach out. Number two, I would say starting with nutrition, whatever you can do for now to start taking the pressure off of the body, off of the child's body, to allow for some breathing space. If you can get rid of a few symptoms and make life a little easier with starting with nutrition, you'll have some breathing space and you'll be able to have some clarity of where to go from next. Number three, I would say, is that once you've got the nutrition going and you've seen some changes, like most certainly gluten-free and dairy-free at a minimum, I would strongly suggest going grain-free and obviously moving to a plant-based diet. Once you get those things going, what you'll find is that the therapies will actually be able to help you. So if you're not already at a place where you've got therapies, put therapies in. Speech, OT, Sunrise, SON is a really good one. Learn to play, anything that can help your child. But for us personally, we had therapies in place before his diagnosis, and none of them were doing anything but distress him and us, because his burden and toxicity was too high, and we had to work on nutrition first. Number four, and this is a really important one, have a family meeting. Get everybody on board, everyone 100% on board. No special treats from grandma on the weekend, sabotaging the work that you've done, mum and dad, during the week. And also, if you're co-parenting, come together and find a mutual ground, because it's not fair for one parent during the week to, really work hard on building the child up to introducing new foods, and on the weekend they go to the other parent's house and eat whatever they like. It has to be a whole group family project. Everybody has to be on board. Everybody has to be on board. Number five, use respite. Now, I have been in this position where people have told me to use respite, and I'm like, nobody gets it. Nobody understands. Nobody can cope with him. I can't leave him. And you know what? you have to get past that. He will or she will be okay for you to have a little bit of respite, because if not, you can't be the good parent, the good friend, the good lover, the good sister, or anything else you need to be when you are not looking after yourself. So you need to use respite. It's vital. Now, number 6, this is not at the end because it's not important, or because it's not as equally as important as the nutrition or any other therapy. It's because it's the thing that brings everything together. And that is self-care and self-love and putting yourself first. And I hear you. It's so hard. I hear you. I've been in the place that you've been in. It's really, really hard. But it's something you need to chip away at each day. Meditation, daily practices, spirituality, time out, exercise, time with friends, any emotional support you can get, or reaching out to a coach or a guide, someone that can just take the pressure off you, give you some support and guidance, and you can have time away to nurture yourself. You need to nurture yourself so you can nurture your family, so you can get back into the intuition part of you, the part that needs to make the right, have clarity to make the right choices. And that only comes from when you get out of the chaos and allow some space and time to happen. I'm taking on 3 families to my program. I only work with select people at a time, and I only work with a few families at a time, so I can give 100%. Now, I'm taking on 3 new families at the moment. If you want to be one of those families, you have to be ready to make a change. You have to be open to new paths. You have to give me 100% of your commitment, and I will give you every tool I have to fast track your family's health, to get your mindset in the right place,